Okay, the beginning of that was really awkward because I had to unplug my mic and plug it back in. That is inconvenient. So one of the, I don't know what this is, but...
Oh, so good. Oh, need more.
Okay, which control point am I at then? This one. Not save. Oh yeah, I'm down in the pit. Okay. Is whether or not I should buy a 4K monitor, because if I had a 4K monitor, then I'd be able to see basically the full detail. So the highest resolution we could render all these textures and things. So you would have less probability of not being able to read text and so on. And that would pay off if I was going to continue to play more video games of the style that you, of course, you render and so on. That being said, I don't know if I necessarily will play a whole lot more of these. Again, one example I come up with sometimes is Dark Souls. I understand that the PC port for it isn't very good, but and it's a pretty old game at this point. Oh, my personal mods are full. What? If you deal with that. Okay, how many of these we have? 16, 16, 18. So we can deconstruct around 16s. Dear. So yeah, I don't really have a lot of plans for a whole lot more of these. So if there were, it would pay off somewhat. But there aren't very many. It's sort of a toss-up whether or not I should bother. I wouldn't record 4K footage very often because it's not very practical. The only way for you to watch the 4K footage I recorded would be if you had a 4K monitor yourself. In which case, I don't know if there's really a point for you watching a demonstration of 4K if you already have 4K. And to store those 4K, so 4K being at a higher resolution doesn't necessarily make it a bigger file size in itself, but if you want to make the video not look terrible, you need to greatly increase the bit rate if you record at 4K. And so that is going to greatly increase the file size, which will make it more difficult. I don't know why I haven't updated these. Have any higher of that, okay. Which made it difficult to store the episodes. So generally what I would do would be record mostly at say 1080p, and then I would do a 4K if
All right, I won't take up too much. We used to.
if it was like a final episode or something, and I wanted to max out. Procedures. Oops. Item must be kept away from animals. The cell must be regularly cleaned to the black substance the item produces. All cleaning tools must be blank along with the black substance itself. Item is a novelty balloon made of silver mylar. On its face, it's a colorful message to get well, surrounded by cartoon hearts. A ribbon is attached to the balloon. Item has not stopped floating after a considerable amount of time in the bureau, which suggests it does not hover through the use of helium. The item produces a dark-colored sticky substance which drips down its ribbon. Okay. Now, I don't know what kind of
Ram.
what kind of Let's see if that's it. We have 27, 29. Okay. I was gonna say, oof. What? Oh yeah, I don't know what kind of frame rates I'm getting because I'm not using a tool like the overlay that you can get with a plugin to MSI Afterburner. To see what your frame rate is. If I use like the performance overlay from NVIDIA for FPS, it just says nan. And I just like made a stupid mistake. So yeah, I don't know what the frame rate is. I know my GPU utilization is going to 100%. So I am actually GPU limited despite this being 1080p, which is surprising. So I suspect it is very, very high because I'm GPU limiting like close to 100% GPU utilization at 1080p on a 3090. I don't know what it is. And I'm recording at 60 hertz, so which is 60 frames per second. And on some games, like for example, League of Legends, which is not a very resource-intensive game, I know that if you record it with OBS at 60 hertz, it'll lock the frame rate in the gameplay to 60 hertz. Now, I don't know if that's happening here or not. Now, my monitor refresh rate maxed out at 280 hertz. Okay, continuing on from that. If you go up to, generally a game is playable if you're, getting at least 30 hertz, 1% low. But it only plays well. It's good. You get good if you get at least 60 hertz, and that would be like on the low. So your stuttering would be down to 60 hertz. That's playing well. The higher your resolution, the lower frame rate you're going to get. Partly because the GPU is not going to be able to push as hard, and second because your monitor is not going to be able to support that. For example, I have a 1080p monitor that can push 280 hertz. The 4K monitors generally only go up to 144, and those have only come out like last week.
Like, you've returned, I see. And you're not sprouting mold from your eyes. I take it that means my pill worked. Now tell me everything. Did you find the source? You did, didn't you?
I found a big, angry plant. Like, gigantic. I killed it.
You killed it! You found the source and you killed it! I could have learned so much from a live specimen.
Her concern is touching. Really, it's too much.
Here, I brought you a sample.
A piece of the innermost mold. You're not such a lost cause after all. Strange. So different, even superficially. Another stage of growth, perhaps.
Please, no more stages.
You'll be pleased to know that cutting down the creature at the source has already resulted in a notable cessation of the mold's rapid growth. You've bought me time for further study.
So what now?
I'm glad you asked. While you were busy in the pit, a number of mold hosts were sighted beyond the threshold. They managed to sneak out without the rangers noticing. There's a reason I didn't send Steve and Andy to find the mold source with the others. These vagrant hosts must be eradicated as soon as possible. The mold can still be spread by their overgrown bodies.
Any idea where they went?
The hosts I've observed are not a sprightly bunch. Here are the reports I've received. They'll help you find them.
I'll go take care of them.
Good. And do be quick about it.
There's a nice way to say that.
Well, I'm holding G, but it's not doing anything.
Thanks for the information.
My pleasure.
hell did it go?
It came from beyond the mold. It's alive. Maybe. Almost certain.
Okay, moving on. So, the elevator still doesn't work? Really? So right now, I don't know of any GPUs that can push very well for any sort of native 4K rendering with ray tracing. Yeah, that is 4K native max settings. I know that I've read people on forums mention that they do that and are obsessed with always having to do that. But I wouldn't think there are any GPUs that can. So there's a gimmick that you may have noticed from my first episode of this called DLSS. And there's... Well, I'll describe it first. So what DLSS does is it renders the image at a lower resolution than the one of your monitor. So, for example, if you were playing at 4K, it would render the image at 1440p. And then it would essentially, using the sort of guess how to upsample that up to 4K using the most immediately previous frames and the current frame. And it is faster to ray trace at 1440p and then afterwards upsample it than it is to ray trace at 4K. Of course, it is not as fast as just ray tracing at 1440p. And some people, it seems, tend to like DLSS better than native 4K graphics. I guess because it looks a bit softer. It doesn't have the jagged, the kind of the crispy jaggedness of the native ray traced, and sort of you can see this kind of dotted, sort of fuzzy texture. So although I don't know of any GPUs that can do well, basically at 4K native, I do know that generally with what I have, you can do pretty well at 1440p DLSS up to 4K. Which you could argue is kind of fake 4K, but some people like it better than native 4K, so, I mean, it has that going for it. Okay, if I recall correctly, I have something where I'm trying to do headshots in, what's its face? Executive, right? No, I'm using charge. Okay. So, if I go to weapons, grab charge. Sweet.
Best of luck.
I go the wrong way. No. Signs are just confusing. Okay. But this is just gonna happen to me. He recharges too. Gonna get me eventually. things I absolutely hate is, so with the personal mods, you have 24 slots, right? But you only have one. The amount of categories you could have of personal mods is relatively small. So it's really easy to keep a decent amount of each type of mod in your cache of mods. Whereas with the weapons mods, there's way more types of mods, but there's only the same amount of mod slots. So it's really way more difficult to decide which mods you want to get rid of, and so you end up running out of mods all the time. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of this. Okay, I was trying to go for weapons mods, got distracted by the personal mods. Some lame thing. It's the only one I have of this type, but I'm probably never going to use it, so sure. Don't want to deconstruct that because I'm going to get another one. Well, I have one slot. I opened a slot. So that means I can grab that. And then I can deconstruct it and get the source out. Okay. Only 100 source, so it wasn't really worth anything, but... junk. And doing those, I believe, just gets you a whole bunch of materials, which is kind of useful because that allows you to construct things, so they aren't a complete waste of time. Although Steam only gives you credit for 5, and I just did my 6th one. Okay. So. Okay, so this lets you construct higher tier mods, but I don't ever construct mods anyway because the collectibles gives me enough mods regardless. So I never really have to use this page. So why would I waste my source on that? I don't know. I'm just curious. Like what I'm trying to figure out is there a way to construct ability points? And it seems like there isn't. And if there isn't a way to construct, let's see here. Do I have? Doesn't tell me how many I have already. If there's there's only seems to be one way to get the ability points, and that is to complete missions and side missions, which means that it's somewhat difficult. Well, it's becoming easier now that the side missions are coming on a lot. It's difficult to farm ability points. You're very restricted as to how much ability points you can have by the time you get to a certain point in the game, because the plot restricts it. The only way to get ability points is by completing missions. So it would be nice if I could farm ability points, but I generally just can't. Great charge, can do. Great spin, can do. I like charge better, so obviously I'd put priority on upgrading charge. Yes. Still upgrade spin if I get enough source. Okay. Why am I not doing this? Okay. Back. Definitely use a higher tier of the same mod. Okay. Nope. Still charge. Yes. deconstruct. Is this one just more speed? More speed. Okay, definitely deconstruct this one. Okay. More radius. Silly. Also, I'm tempted to deconstruct that. This is probably speed's probably the most useful just in general because it makes it less likely to miss. I deconstructed it by accident. Phooey! Fine. Do that to myself. Okay. Now, so where's Shield Rush? It's down here, right? It's kind of so. How much is that going to be? 2, 2, 2, and then 4 to get it. Okay, so we can get close. And we just need 4 more, then we'll have it. Good. So much overhead work. Subtract this one. And then now I want to know where to go. So parapsychology. And I'm not in executive anymore, so the board countermeasure doesn't matter. So instead of using charge, I'm going to use something more useful. That is pierce. Okay. Really shouldn't be gloating here because they're like seeking them out so hard because honestly they kill you almost instantly, so these guys won't spawn. Just need to figure out how to get back there. Okay, well. This study extends the works of Irving Janis, Robert Barron, and others by proposing strong casual links between groupthink and the passive or active use of telepathy. To prove these connections, the parapsychology department carried out variations of Solomon Asch's original conformity experiments using a telepathic individual as the subject. See experiments blank for details. Extensive qualitative and quantitative data resulting from these experiments was then used to identify telepathic interference within the group. Further empirical findings suggest measures can be taken to safeguard against telepathic influence on behaviors by engaging in blank. Rather boldly, this paper stands to revolutionize decades of groupthink theory and provide new directions for further experimentation on the mind, including the manipulation of blank and blank. A lot of talk about telepathy, however, that's not one of the powers you can pick up. There isn't an altered item or an object of power for that. Okay. I accidentally was using grip instead of pierce, which... There we go. There's a control point, so it doesn't matter. Are you? That's great.
There's one of those mold hosts.
See, why not? Second. Huh. Just elevated in containment. Snipers. Yes. Looks like I need 2 more. 2 more molds. Darling here, some of you are curious why I had the sensory deprivation tanks installed. I thought I'd shed some light on the subject. Maybe some of you have heard of Dr. Yoshimi Toki, a man behind the hugely popular guided imagery experience tapes. Apparently his tapes go beyond the normal meditative qualities of such things, but create genuine hallucinatory visions in some listeners. Or so the reports say. We brought these tanks in to test Dr. Toki's tapes for ourselves. Plus, there may be some stress-relieving use for the staff down the road. I think we could all benefit from some time in a dark, enclosed space, don't you? If you have any more questions, feel free to stop by my office. You know where it is. Things lighting up. Had a philosophy grad student teacher who really liked those things. Presumably he would do some psychoactive substances and then afterwards get into the deprivation tank while high. Dr. Yoshimi Toki, a Japanese citizen residing in Tokyo, has produced a series of guided imaginary experience audio recordings that have gained notable popularity around the globe. Due to his unusually swift rise in fame, along with reports of a vivid blank accompanying the use of his tapes, investigation sector staff were asked to look into Dr. Toki's background. We found no past incident with an altered occurrence, nor any evidence of involvement with an altered organization. However, agents that attended a signing event reported blank when hearing Dr. Toki speak. We recommend that the research team obtain an audio recording of Dr. So, because this is Japanese, it's probably actually Toki, not Toki, but whatever. Dr. Toki's voice, and perform any and all relevant analysis. Based on the findings, the investigation sector will determine next steps regarding Dr. Toki, as well as his eligibility for the Prime Candidate program. Kind of jumping the gun there. Wow, he was just behind me the entire time. Oh yeah, right, I see you. Okay. Never mind. What? You found? Yes, big room. Here we go. Disappointing that there's no mold in here. Okay. That's it, huh? Still no mold in here. Oh, gee. I can't open it back up, huh? They don't let me do that? They don't let me release the astral entity on myself? Yeah, there's no mold up here, so I don't know where the third mold would be. It's like I keep missing it. Here's a spawn point, I would think. Where am I getting shot at from? Starts up there. Did a glitch happen where because I got attacked, it like despawned the mold and replaced it with other enemies? Something should have spawned here, I presume. Gone. Before using the recording devices, please ensure the following safety measures are met. Ensure the volunteer is securely fastened to their chair. Ensure the hood is placed over the volunteer's head. This will prevent the volunteer from taking in visual stimuli during the record process, which can lower the quality of captured footage. This also prevents recording technicians from viewing the volunteer's face, which undergoes muscle spasms during recording that some consider upsetting. Check if the volunteer is comfortable. Activate the recording apparatus. After recording is complete, check the volunteer's cognitive ability using the provided questionnaire. Reminder, do not be alarmed if the length of the recorded footage exceeds the volunteer's period of unconsciousness. Astral dilation is a known issue. If any problems arise during the process, contact your supervisor. Mr. Mold. This is really frustrating. I didn't think this would be this hard. Maybe I'll go... Huh. Finally. That's where you were. Okay, ritual division. Oh, central research. Let's do ritual division first, though. Okay. We could go for the synchronicity lab kind of area. That sounds suspiciously like would be a place where I'd find mold. Yeah. So, lame launch. There you are.
Why'd they keep an altered item here?
This proposal is to finally determine the precise nature of the reflected space within the altered item. Is it transplanar, psychologically generated, or rooted within our own dimension? How does the altered item know the space in its vicinity well enough to reflect it? Why does it reflect some materials but not others? Is the space a parallel reality? If so, then we need to consider that while we possess this physical end of the mirror, someone else owns the other. What purpose might they use for it? Can they walk through into our own world? What are their motives? Lastly, to what purpose does the altered item produce the reflections of individuals that enter it? Can these reflected entities leave the altered item? As with all altered items, we need to attempt to distinguish it. To distinguish if this behavior is blank blank. Okay. Let's see here. We need way more remote thoughts to upgrade spin, but Pierce, we won't use any remote thoughts here, so we can do this one. Um, so this is next. Cool.
Debrief for Mirror Excursion 7C. Subject is Agent Hardy. Hardy spent approximately 3 hours in the mirror. It's the longest time on record. Can you describe your experience inside, Agent Hardy? Agent Hardy is physically healthy. All tests have come back clean. Yet the speech issue has persisted for hours. Calm down, Agent. It could be psychosomatic, but the fact that this only occurred after returning from the mirror makes a paranatural explanation more likely. I recommend a battery of tests and a Class Orange quarantine.
Okay, I have 2 buttons here. Don't know what they do yet. Let's check up here. Let's see. Okay, let's bring it back down. AI 60. The mirror does not reflect its surroundings with perfect accuracy. The environment sees in its glass contains slight distinction. The environment in its glass contains slight distinctions. It is unknown why the mirror does this, if there is any blank blank when it's something we can't perceive. The popular theory is that the mirror has a goal in mind, that it reflects the world it wishes were real, subtly replacing our reality with its own. While certainly far-fetched, the theory is worth noting here as a warning not to underestimate the mirror. The specifically designed black rock panels have been installed to prevent access from our side of the mirrors. For added security, a particular arrangement of panels is required to open the door. Okay. Find clues as to or hints as to the panels we're supposed to use. What combination of the panels? We have 3 on each side. We need to put them in the right places. See here. So I see 1 up and 2 down. Two up and 1 down. It's a mirror though. So I'm gonna guess this.
Looks like there's a mirror in there.
It's mirrored. The one that's down is the one closest to us, right? If it's mirrored. Also would look backwards. So yeah, let's see something like that. It'd be flipped as well, which is also confusing.
The shutters in the image look different.
Okay, so the two closest to you, closest to the mirror, down. Try this first. Well, that's where the mirror is. Okay, so the mirror's at the back. Okay, so if we were to look into that mirror,
What am I missing?
so the mirror's at the back, and then if we look into the mirror at the back, and we saw this, okay, on this side we have down, down, up, and so then, okay, so down's closest, so downs are closer to the mirror, so downs are closer to the back. Oops. This one is down, down, and then this is up. Okay.
What a weird way to lock something up.
Yeah, apparently I got it right. Now we probably have to fight some sort of boss.
Wait, that didn't sound right. Yeah, that's not good.
So now I have a reflected version. Those hints might come in handy.
Iedere 100.000 snare obscure absolutely. Er kan maar meer zeggen anders. Niks right ears. He them stuff but not zero. Iedere 100.000 cash bus. He's the messenger scary more fear me.
What? I can't understand you. You need to listen. I saw something in there. There is something inside. You need to lock down the mirror.
So I offered sister who she sleeps. I mean, I'm not fast definitely fly as if they either 100.
Why are you talking like that? What's wrong with you? All of you? There's something in that fucking mirror.
Snur's getting light noch. Niet naar south the next set. Figure that but then around. Ja, dan misschien ook waarschijnlijk best game. Maar ik ben nog niet naar de verder. Kan je wat zitten kassen dat ik aan de locatie moet.
Yeah. This is the entire research division mirrored. What are we trying to find exactly?
Did you see that? Someone's in there.
Hurry, Nano Monsieur. Whoa.
Like anyone could understand that.
Men det finns här pröv.
there's glass broken, but we can't shoot out glass, so we can just walk in. Okay.
That's not good.
Yeah. Oh, Listerine exit.
Ooh. Suck in a grenade.
Nothing but a pale imitation. Another one?
So, grenade sucking game, essentially. Throw them back at her. Is the idea. Do we have to, like, do all the... Hopefully you can just fight the boss. That's it.
Oh, Listerine exit.
Just wait for the grenades. Don't try to hit her. Just wait till she launches the grenade. Because otherwise you'll have something... You won't, like, have the reaction time to grab the grenade. Okay. Ugh. Can I, like, downgrade myself and that, like, will downgrade the double? Not sure. Like, if I get, like, somehow deconstruct my surge, does that make it so she can't throw grenades at me? It's kind of a bizarre one. Because I don't know if the powers match.
Listerine exit.
Shit. That was terrible. Okay, gotta stay far enough away from her that you have enough time to grab the grenade as it comes in. You don't just get instantly. Also, it's important to always have things to launch going into something.
Oh, whispering exit.
Oh, because it... If you fail to grab the grenade, then you accidentally grab something else. And then you have something queued up, and then you think you're grabbing the grenade, and instead you launch what you've queued. Or at least that's what happens to me.
Oh, whispering exit.
Nothing but a pale imitation.
Where are you? There you are. I only got down to under half, so maybe it does make sense to just slam her with launches. Completely changed my tactic. Just to go aggressive. If we could get rid of enough of her health before I run out of health. There. Definitely want grip though. I have a hard time aiming that pierce. Or surge would be.
Whispering exit.
Nothing but a pale imitation.
There you are.
Another one?
Phew. Get the health.
These has the rabbit airport.
Well, got farther that time. Just going to change the loadout and queue up something different besides Pierce for this. Do. Oh.
Oh, wish green access.
Air grenade instantly. Great! I wonder if anybody's decoded what the double Jesse says at the beginning.
Oh, wish green access.
Nothing but a pale imitation.
Phew. Oh dear.
Another one?
Get out of here.
Oh, wish green access.
Nothing but a pale imitation. Another one?
I don't know what happened at the end there. I just kind of lost my ability to do anything.
Oh, wish green access.
Nothing but a pale imitation. Another one.
Guess I should shift sprint some of those grenades. That uses energy that could be used for launch, so. It's just a hard boss, basically. That's all there is to it. You just gotta get it just right. Keep trying until you get it.
Oh, where's Green Dog? Nothing but a pale imitation. Another one.
It's like right when I'm like at the end, I don't have any more health, then it's another grenade. No energy, no nothing. Grenade. 2 grenades in a row. Hit her with do grenades until, because I can't dodge without energy because I don't have. So you need energy to do dash, and then I can't launch without energy. So all I can do is shoot as I get peppered with grenades. Maybe I should do surge instead. I don't know. Silly. Just a trap.
Oh, where's Green Dog?
Oh, phooey.
Nothing but a pale imitation. Another one.
Waiting for the shield to go down. Bam.
That better be all of them. That explains why they locked this mirror up.
Okay. Thins the mirror. Where do I do that?
wonder what the Bureau was doing with this thing. Well, it's cleansed now. The hiss is gone. It's dealt with.
Okay, so got the collectibles in there. I'm just guessing there's nothing in here of note, so. I have no source because I just blew it all on that. Okay, so I got all the materials for this though. And this. Continue. Cool. This is 3 to get to buy that. Let's work on some molds some more. Let's see here. So we go to missions. What's my loadout? I have charge on. Okay, well, we'll change that out for Pierce. What's going on here? It's kind of pittance, though. So is that. So all those are the only ones I have of that kind. They're really, like, lame. Don't need this either. Okay. I have 13 jukebox tokens. I can make them all go. Doesn't matter, right?
Do you have a spare diamond?
What? No. Why?
I want to see where Blackwell prisms lie on the Mohs scale of hardness.
That was all that was down here was just a measly weapons mod? So that was the only point of this room? Well, that's lame. Thank you for the file. It was very helpful. I've re-archived it with the Black Rock research in case you need to refer to them again. Yes, the video shoots are always interesting. I expect my availability for those to decrease in the future. However, as my analysis of this newly discovered Black Rock variant is reaching a critical point, I hope you will be able to attend them still. Darling seems to be under a lot of pressure lately, and I'm sure he would appreciate any support you can provide. Regarding the analysis you provided, I do not have any questions. Thank you for the expeditious delivery. Regards. Research specialist, whatever. Okay. It's there. This item should be kept in a sealed chamber with minimal external visibility. The hanging mirror, oval in shape. The frame is made of ornate wrought brass. The item does not reflect its surroundings accurately. The item's effect is complex. Most notable is the fact that the glass transports individuals to a paranatural space when touched. In the space is an imperfect reflection of a reality. Some objects inside the reflection are simple mirror images. Some are blank, while some do not appear at all. The reflection only contains areas within a blank distance of the item itself. Relocating the item has proven that the reflection changes depending on the surroundings. Agents have been sent in to explore the reflection blank. Has been observed in the test subjects inside, believed to be psychosomatic. Prolonged exposure to the reflection is not advisable.
Debrief for mirror excursion.
Okay. There you are. Okay, obsessive-compulsive disorder, hoarding, anxiety disorders. While certain manifestations of these conditions are simply the result of mental illness, sometimes the individuals are simply performing blank, called rituals. The blank of rituals can vary. Numerology, dreamlike forfeiture, verbal formula, repetitive action, casual tethering are just some of the procedures involved. Some rituals are consistent, such as pulling the light switch cord 3 times to enter the motel, but some are erratic. Most people engage in minor rituals every day. The vast majority do not understand the importance behind their actions. Avoiding disaster, amassing luck, or simply locating lost keys are all the results of daily rituals. Individuals who recognize the deeper meaning behind these compulsive actions are inherently aware of the paranatural world, and when located, should be considered to be considered for employment by the Bureau. What? I hit the shield button, but I didn't make a shield, so I don't know what happened there. I just got bombed. Very cheap, very, very cheap death. That should not have killed me. That's not a very good mod, so whatever. Okay, find more mold. That way was never cleared out, huh? Ah, here's mold. Okay. Now, Central Research doesn't have... Does have a control point. Okay. No mold in here.
Feeling question.
That doesn't seem like mold. Mold. No mold there. Okay. Still don't see any mold. Finally, mold. Does that pick up a bunch of vending machines? Give me a save my game thing? No, it doesn't. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. It's the first time I noticed that there's redwoods in here. The entrance to the pit. Because I climbed up out of here, so I remember doing that distinctly. It's in the box. It's in my way, distracting the deer. Well, deal with that. So let's deconstruct. This one. It's because they're level 1. That's all. Okay. I can grab this mod, and that will let us get in the box. Astral blip. Answer questions within 2 minutes of listening. Did the song elicit any particular memories? If so, elaborate. Did you at any point feel a strong emotion? If so, what emotion? Did a clear image of a weapon appear in your mind during the song? If so, elaborate. Provide a detailed description of your current surroundings as you see them. Have you ever heard the murmur of voices when no one is present? If so, what did they say? Do you hear them now? Please choose one of each of the following pairs. 1 or 2, A or B, day or night, apple or orange, burn out or fade away. Wait, why is missions updated? Okay. This looks like a good way to blast your ears. Okay, well, I'm not going to listen to that whole song. Okay. already followed that mold. Oh, there you are.
I think that's the last one. I should let Underhill know.
It's tricky. There you are. Okay.
feeling a bit hungry. You hungry, Steve?
Not funny, man.
I found the hosts. They won't be spreading any more mold.
Well done. I'll send burn teams to sanitize the locations. I'm beginning to wonder if these hosts are originating outside the threshold in independent patches of mold growth.
You don't sound very optimistic.
Optimism is for farmers, as my mother always said. I suppose you could now return to that hiss business you all seem so concerned about.
This woman has some incredible tunnel vision.
Have you worked with Emily Pope?
Our paths have crossed. Darling arranged for us to have a coffee. A meeting of the minds, he called it. She's talented. I can certainly see her doing well here.
I feel like there's a but coming.
But she's drunk a bit too much of the Bureau's proverbial Kool-Aid. She shouldn't be afraid to forge ahead on her own. Science is skepticism. Everything must be questioned before the truth can emerge.
So is Darling your boss?
If you insist on clinging to such outdated hierarchies, then yes. However, I would argue that our fields are too dissimilar for one to manage the other. Of course, Darling would much prefer to find his own miracle solution to the Bureau's fungal frustrations. He always needs to be the hero.
So tell me again how you came to work at the Bureau?
Well, like I said, I was brought in as a special advisor. A temporary position, you see. Although that's not the whole truth. I was employed here for a time, straight out of university. After a decade of admittedly fascinating work in threshold research and regulation, I began to chafe under the bureaucracy. I needed a change. Not that academia was so different.
And then the mold happened.
About 4 months ago, yes. Since my departure from the Bureau, they hadn't been able to find my equal in threshold analysis. Darling and I had kept in touch over the years, meeting at conferences and the like. He called me, and I booked a flight. I've never been able to say no to a man with a dangerous alien biosphere. I had to leave my post in the middle of term, but so be it.
So she's a professor. That explains a lot.
The mold seems to be having some weird effects on things.
Indeed. Even people are susceptible. The fungus grows rapidly within the chest cavity, killing the host. Luckily, one must ingest the stalks to become infected.
Don't eat the mold. Okay.
We've always cremated the infected bodies after autopsy, but I believe there may be another stage of maturity. A blooming, if you will.
I never thought the word blooming would sound so horrible.
Thanks for the information.
My pleasure.
It came from beyond the mold.
It's alive.
Okay. Do that. Okay. So now, where to go? Ritual division. So. Not what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. It's just a dead end, huh?
Disappearing ducks. Great.
How do I punch in that code, I wonder? Do I have to punch that code in at the HRA lab? That's how I do it? Shoot the duck. Well, close in here. Okay, that's the screenshots. Okay.
Is Dr. Darling's penmanship intentionally this bad?
Maybe he's trying to test our code breaking.
I can't interact with that anymore. Great. So I can't type in any codes. There's a hint in the audio.
Altered item number 52AE analysis, session 2. I will begin by introducing various stimuli to the item. First, a low voltage electric shock. No response?
I accidentally paused everything. Zoom.
Next, I will introduce heat via a standard Bunsen burner.
There's obviously nothing in here.
No response. Next, a series of solutions will be applied, each with a different value on the pH scale, from 0 to 14. No response to any value. Next, I will attempt to communicate. Can you understand me? Can you understand my words? Quack if you can understand my words. No response. This concludes session 2. We'll need time to prepare further tests.
If you get it fast enough. No, it's that simple. You just gotta be fast. Okay, I way
Finally,
overthought
more
that.
quacking.
Direct contact with this item is not permitted. Safety gloves are required for handling. Item is a yellow rubber duck bath toy from the 1950s. A single hole at the bottom allows air and water to flow in and out. The item makes a sound analogous to quacking. The item travels considerable distances at surprising speed. How it achieves this motion is unknown. The item forms a blank of unknown purpose with anyone who makes physical contact with it and begins to follow them, quacking often. This has led to a researcher named Blank entering cardiac arrest. Though due to the individual's health issues, the matter may not be connected to the item's effect. Item is on loan to the research sector for further study. Do anything. There's a control point. Okay, where am I here? Well, let's see here. To go to dead letters, okay. Do we have sealed threshold hall yet? No, we do not. Okay. But we can go to dead letters. So we put burst here. Whatever you want to call it. Right? Because yeah, I want to do charge an executive.
That's no normal piece of paper.
There you are.
Okay, need to know where it's gonna end up.
There. 4, 2, 1. There.
I need to find the other pages.
Ooh.
Okay, need to know where it's gonna end up. There should be one more page.
Thanks to the recent smoking ban in my state, I am happy to inform you I will not be voting for you in the next election. As everyone knows, smoking is being banned because the smoke is toxic to the aliens the government sold our planet to in a secret deal. If the humans keep smoking, the aliens won't be able to live on Earth. Our air will be poison to them. If the government traders can't stop people from smoking, then you won't get your millions of dollars from the aliens. I have a website. People know what's going on. We're going to keep smoking no matter what. This is a national emergency. Politicians are handing the planet over to alien overlords. We won't let you. We will resist. I will smoke forever. Signed, a proud smoker, rebel, patriot. Oops. There was a lot up here. I'm a plaid suit in a pinstripe world. I'm a plaid suit in a pinstripe world. Something in the middle is blocked out. The clock is shaped like a cat, and its eyes move, and I think it's angry, but I keep apologizing and it won't stop. But I said I'm sorry. Checking something. Okay. Won't leave me alone. I don't know what it wants, but I can't keep apologizing if I... Do you see how... Whatever. Told everyone else is here, and I need to be careful so they don't see me writing this letter. It wants me to stay with it, and my eyes on its eyes. I'm moving very fast, but I can't keep going, and I worry they will forget about Meso. In need to writ you about this because I can't keep going, but the cat will because of its eyes. Okay. Hey, Meso. Hey, you got questions and profits, you have answers. If you truly intrigued, watch the time. We've lost about 45 days in the past 4 years. The shortening of days, this is why the Vatican is a sundial and also simultaneously a keyhole. Another thing while I'm here, if you want the secret to everything, compare plasma next to brain cells. The sun and moon are composed of plasma. Simply light, not planets. After this is cemented in your psyche, ponder the current whereabouts of where you are. I and humanity reside. Cheers. Cool.
Okay, need to know where it's gonna end up. Done and done.
What else is up here? To the esteemed members of the American Psychiatric Council, I am writing you to inquire about the significance of dreams with relation to one's mental health. I'm aware that there are many books purporting to claim the true meaning of dreams, but I have reservations about their legitimacy. I understand that this is not usually done, but I would greatly appreciate your thoughts on my condition. Ever since I was young, I have had intensely vivid dreams. They only occur sporadically, but in them I witness very strange events. I understand dreams can seem real at the time, but these feel remarkably different. They do not occur often, perhaps only one or two a year. Last night I had one. I saw a small, empty town. It was utterly dark. There was a lake at its center. Shadows of people moved around, muttering odd things. A bright light woke me up. I was screaming in my sleep. My wife had been shaking me for minutes before I woke. Because of this recent incident, I have decided to seek help. The doctor says I am physically fine, but I want to consult your expertise. Thank you for your valuable time. Very yours sincerely, Richard Balker. Black rock paneling suppresses the item's effect. A stack of 4 envelopes, each containing a single page of paper. All 4 letters are illegible due to extreme water damage. The envelopes, curiously, do not show any sign of such damage and are covered in messages of love. The items are able to move short distances at a pace of less than blank and always in a blank direction. This is the first altered item to have multiple separate parts, a fact previously believed to be an impossibility by blank. A proposal to take the item outside the oldest house and follow their movement to its final destination is under consideration with the Budget Committee. Item was found in the Dead Letter Archive where the Herd archivist found it attempting to escape a filing cabinet. She reports having no record of the item in her archives of letters. Okay. Selections. What do I have to do here? Japanese paper lantern. Do the record challenge. Do the jukebox challenge, which I have like 13 tries to do now because I got so many of those tokens. And then continue on with the main line. Okay, so I'll do that next time.